Or actually, it's Christian Roldan who got the goal right near the middle of the pitch, and it was very much off the dead ball towards Christian Roldan, and Seattle to the lead in the 11th minute. Westwood sends it into the area for a running Swiderski. Out in front of him, trying to touch it, trying to keep it in, trying to cross in the area. A shot, they score! It is Jalen Lindsay with his first Charlotte FC goal!
Oh my goodness. Speechless from that ball control by Karol Swiderski, tight-roping the touchline, somehow kept it in play to dink it back. Jalen Lindsay, brilliant positioning on that back post to knock it home. Ashley Westwood, though, with another brilliant delivery.
And the Charlotte native, Jalen Lindsay, has his first goal in his home colors. Shoot into the area for Rui Diaz. Now comes out of the area. Rui Diaz, a long shot, and he scores. A golazo from Raul Rui Diaz from just outside the area. That is a wonder goal from Seattle's striker, and they break the deadlock 2-1. Bender right side play for Vargas. On the counter, Vargas takes a shot off the back of a defender. Settled for Bender. It's Westwood with a shot. He scores! A worldie of their own for Ashley Westwood. His first stateside goal equalizes for the crowd.
It's a goal that has been brewing from the Englishman. It's an exceptional finish from Ashley Westwood.
Diagonal pass right side, just a little too far behind Jalen Lindsay. Coming back in the middle to try and make the play, though, is Bender, and they get a giveaway. It's Bender from Swiderski. A shot from Benji off the post. Christian Roldan for Joao Pedro. Pedro with a chance in the area. A back post shot, and they score. It is Raul Rui Diaz who came back behind the play, and he gets his second goal of the game. Seattle trying to survive a 3-2 lead. Charlotte trying to equalize. Bronico ahead for Gaines. Gaines has it just outside the area, trying to turn around and pirouette with it. Back outside the area, Bronico. It's Burns. It's into the area. Back post header. They score! It's Patrick Archibald! And once again, a rookie sensation. 3-3 at the bank.
And that is how you introduce yourself in Bank of America Stadium. Patrick Archibald, the rookie, with a glorious glancing header.
And that is full time given. All claps for Charlotte FC as they come back from a losing position 3 times to earn a point against a very tough Seattle Sounders side. A lot of times a home draw isn't necessarily one you feel good about, but I think Charlotte FC do when you think about the way that this game was played. That was exhausting in all the best ways. Charlotte FC 3, Seattle Sounders 3. We're back with a final thought, a look ahead to what's next on the Charlotte FC Radio Network.
When the Original Mattress Factory opened its doors, our competitors questioned our approach. When we vowed to never have a sale, they said, holiday sales are huge moneymakers for the bedding industry. A mattress store that doesn't have a sale just won't work. But OMF didn't listen. Instead, we offered the same fair price to everyone every day. We chose to have transparent pricing and not apply pressure to close a sale. Over 30 years later, we're proud to say that we still have never had a sale. The others said it wouldn't work. We are so glad we didn't listen. OriginalMattress.com.
When you need your dollar to go further, you need the Original Mattress Factory. We hand build our mattresses and box springs in our factories and sell them factory direct in our own stores. We cut out the middleman and pass the savings on to you. You get a better quality mattress at a better price compared to mainstream brands. When your wallet is feeling the squeeze everywhere from the gas pump to the grocery store, real value is more important than ever. Visit an Original Mattress Factory location today to see our factory direct difference for yourself.
that for the first time last week as Austin trying to play one forward, but Sporting Kansas City put it back, and now Austin back on the ball. Jacob, possession with a purpose is something that we talk a lot about, and Austin just haven't been able to turn a lot of that possession into anything as Drusy will play it across, headed away by Davis. Top of the box, Eric Tommy picks up the second header. This one rolling all the way back into Austin's half. Stuver way off his line to help restart it as Austin will try to bring it back forward and have another go. Pineda looking for Gallagher. Defended by Jake Davis, who tries to clear it forward over his head, but out of bounds, and that'll set up a substitution for SKC. Kyrie Shelton will check into the match, and Alan Polito will exit the game after a fantastic 77 minutes. A brace and an assist. He has had a role in all three of Sporting Kansas City's goals to set up that 3-1 lead. Now Kyrie Shelton coming in to bring some fresh legs and energy to help close this one out for SKC, but Polito, he's been impactful since he's made his return. But this game, Jacob, had to have been his best.
3-goal contributions here. The first time in his career with Sporting able to do that. It's almost shocking that he hasn't had a brace, as you mentioned earlier, Allie, just how good he has been, how important he's been as a goal scorer, as a creator. And tonight was a phenomenal performance and probably could have had a couple more assists if you think back to the John East play or the Leibold chance. Polito set both of those up as well. Just an excellent performance from your number 9 DP forward.
Austin doing a good job to keep it in on the far side. Sporting get a little bit lucky there with the attempted ball in. As the SKC chants ringing out from the supporters section. Sporting Kansas City will return home again next weekend. They have been fortunate to have a good stretch of home games here, and with the form they've been in, it's a great opportunity to pick up some points. They're sitting just 2 behind Austin FC in the standings and just 2 behind a playoff spot, which is crazy to think about with how the season started. But if you want to check out the next home match, Saturday, June 17th, you can come see all the action in person at Children's Mercy Park. Sporting Kansas City will take on last year's MLS Cup champions, LAFC. Tickets are available now at sportingkc.com/tickets.
It's going to be a good one.
It is.
Excited for that game and see where LAFC are after the unfortunate loss in CCL final to Club Leon. And really, Club Leon deserved to win that championship. LAFC couldn't rise to the occasion as Seattle did last year, but it's always difficult when you have those extended runs in CCL. How does that translate into MLS play? We've seen it so many times. Even Seattle last year, yes, they win it, but then they struggle throughout the whole season, don't make the playoffs. LAFC has a lot of talent.
Yeah.
And they got a great collection of guys. Probably the best roster, certainly from 1 to 18 in Major League Soccer. But how is that mental component? Can they turn and flip that switch and refocus and re-energize themselves? It'll be a good game, though, for Sporting next week, no doubt.
And they were simultaneously competing in the Open Cup as well. So managing 3 competitions at one time, now out of both. Of course, every team will have a Leagues Cup, in which the league will pause the regular season for a month. Sporting Kansas City. Coming up the left-hand side, Tim Leibold Forced backwards, tries to slip one into Daniel Shallowy, who wasn't there. Cleared up field, but one back by Volater into Radoya. Back out to Leibold and Radoya. Now helping switch fields for SKC. And how about Nemanja Radoya? He has just been fantastic for Sporting in these last few weeks. Davis into Shelton. Able to earn another throw in for SKC, battling it out and doing exactly what I would imagine the technical staff has instructed Kyrie Shelton to do. Play physical, bring energy. Another ball into Shelton as he's unable to bring that one under control. Attempted clearance upfield will be deflected out of bounds for a Austin goal kick. And Stuver will play that one short to Pereira. Owen Wolf with a bad pass out of bounds, turning the ball over. SKC will have a throw in on the far side.
Wolf in that pass, huh?
Jesus. That was good. Wolf. Wolf. What does a wolf say?
No idea.
Owen Wolf, the son, of course, of Josh Wolf, the head coach of this Austin FC team. His name on the wall. One of Sporting legends. Kendall McIntosh trying to play it upfield to Marinos Janis, who didn't initially get the ball, but wins it back. And now here comes Sporting Kansas City. Remy Voltaire turning on the Jets, but loses control of it. Got a little tripped up.
Or achiness rob you of doing the things you love. Tell that pain, not today, not ever. You've got QC Kinetics on your side.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
This is the Colorado Rapids postgame show on the Altitude Radio Network.
Welcome to your Colorado Rapids post-game show. The Rapids are brought to you by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Along with Jordan Berg, Mark Bertinelli, coming to you live from the studios here in Denver. As tonight, Orlando City beats the Colorado Rapids 2-0 as the Rapids finish the game with just 9 men. 2 reds shown to the Burgundy boys this evening there in Orlando. Coming up here in the post-game show, I'll tell you about everything else that went on in MLS play today, but let's listen to the highlights from the second half of this contest. It was scoreless after the first 45, but the Rapids were in trouble after Brian Galvan was shown a straight red in minute number 35 as he had a high boot on a challenge, was shown red. So 10 men for the Rapids to start the second half. And 11 minutes into the second half, Orlando takes the lead.
Janssen over to the left side. Pereira. Ojeda into the box. Now out wide, Santos. Knocks one in as hard as he can at the near post. And Illich clears it away. Orlando pick it up again. Facundo Torres, left-footed shot. Took a deflection. Went into the back of the net. It's 1-0 Orlando City. The Rapids may find themselves with an own goal there. Not sure if it was on target or off target. Will be interesting to see how it's scored, but it doesn't matter. On the scoreboard, it ends up 1-0 Orlando City.
And the Rapids were making it really tough for Orlando, and this is one of the hardest things to do when a team is in a low block. It was about 10 yards between the bottom line, defensive line for the Rapids and their top defensive line. So how do you play through those spaces where, well, Orlando couldn't find a way through? It's Facundo Torres who ends up taking a shot, and it's just that last-ditch defending by the Rapids back line. It ends up deflecting. It's one of those moments where you almost try too hard. It looked like Illich was in the right place, but then with the major deflection, it goes to his left when he's standing a little bit more to the right of the goal.
57 minutes on the clock, 1-0 on the board in favor of the home side. Orlando City officially scored as a Facundo Torres goal.
Torres gets that one at minute number 56, and Orlando goes up 1-0, and then more trouble for the good guys as Lalas Abubakar gets his second yellow of the match for a foul in minute number 75, and all of a sudden, the Rapids are down 2 minutes, 11-9 for Orlando, and minute number 83, they made Colorado pay.
Pereira and Priso get tangled up, and Priso's looking for a foul call. He's not getting it. Araújo's running downhill. He's going to think about an effort. Said he's going to slide it over to his right to Torres. Torres dribbles into the box, knocks it across the top of the 18. Effort, score. 2-0 Orlando. An absolute kick in the gut for the 9-man Colorado Rapids.
And Torres just affecting the goal again. Does a good job of isolating himself, and then it's a nice pass across for Ramiro Enrique. His first goal in MLS, the under 22 initiative player. Not a lot of space to work with there at the top of the box as the Rapids are just trying to slide back. He's up placing it really nicely. But it is a kick in the gut because it felt like in the last couple of minutes with Barrios on the field, the Rapids having the opportunity in transition moments to be effective, because there's one thing we know, Michael Barrios can pull a rabbit out of a hat, figure out a way to get a goal.
Enrique in minute number 83 gets his first, and that would be your final tally as Orlando City goes on to beat the Colorado Rapids 2-0. We'll continue with your Rapids halftime report after a quick break. Halftime, I'm losing my mind. Post-game report after a quick timeout on the Altitude Radio Network.
But he's making his 7th appearance tonight, all off the bench.
It's great to have a guy like that, though, a veteran presence you can bring on, whether you're seeing out the game or chasing the game.
As John Gallagher will get whistled for the foul on Janis. Davis takes that one a little quick, was hoping to send that one a little bit wider into the path of Daniel Shallowy.
Had a nice little exchange with Peter Vermees after that one. I don't think Peter was too happy about that ball from Jake Davis.
Well, it's all about game management, right? Sporting have the lead, and like you said, Jacob, it's important for them to be on the ball as some good pressure from Eric Tommy sends it into the path of Kyrie Shelton. Back to Tommy. Tommy across. Second ball. Shelton gets his goal. That's 4 for SKC. Kyrie Shelton, take a bow. His first goal of the season, and Kyrie Shelton finally getting his.
It's a great counterattack. Austin get caught. Eric Tommy initially wins the ball, plays it to Kyrie Shelton. Excellent ball back. Tommy decides to shoot. Stuber makes the save, but spills that rebound right in front. Kyrie Shelton, we talked following up the shot. Easiest goal he's going to score in his career. But 4-1 here. Sporting Kansas City. And that's all she wrote.
Woohoo! All right. Another 4-1 scoreline for Sporting Kansas City on this very field. They did the same thing against the Portland Timbers just a couple weekends ago. And they just cannot stop scoring goals here at home. What a way to celebrate 12 years of Children's Mercy Park. Shelton intercepting a pass by Gallagher. Now Sporting Kansas City win it back in their half.
Great feat from Remy Voltaire. Spin out of that key possession.
As almost another ball put on a platter for Kyrie Shelton, who has been doing a great job bringing the pressure. And that energy has been a difference maker. Sporting Kansas City perhaps with a couple of more substitutions coming here in stoppage time as 2 minutes have been added on. Shelton with a lot of pressure. Pereira trying to stay on his feet. He'll go to ground and earn Austin a free kick, but not in any dangerous spot at all as they're still in their half. Sporting Kansas City doing a good job to manage the late minutes of this game, still playing with a lot of energy, bringing a lot of pressure. This ball over the top. Looking for Will Bruin, who is darting forward into the box. Instead, ball falls into the arms of Kendall McIntosh, who was under no pressure. Driussi flips it off to Wolf. Wolf plays it through. Ball cleared. And Sporting Kansas City find themselves in a fortunate spot there as Austin had some numbers, but good combination by Kendall McIntosh and Eric Tommy. Clear that one away. Couple of substitutions coming for Sporting Kansas City. Eric Tommy will exit the match. He is replaced by Felipe Hernandez. While Roger Espinoza will come into the game as well. And he will replace Tim Leibold. Which I would assume Jacob a like for like sub. We've seen Roger Espinoza play a little wing back before.
Played it down in Houston in the Open Cup. He started his career actually way back when, KC Wizards days, as a left back. Same thing with Graham Zusi, though. Veterans, they know the system so well. You could plug them into really any spot. I think Remy Voltaire is actually going to go out, play left back. Roger Espinoza and Felipe Hernandez are going to sit in the middle for just these few seconds as the time ticks away.
As we are in that 92nd minute, or 93rd rather now, Marinos Janis helps win it back, plays it forward, and there is the final whistle. Sporting Kansas City earn a 4-1 win here at home over Austin FC. Goals by Alan Polito, Robert Castellanos, Alan Polito again with a brace, his first since May 2021, and then Kyrie Shelton putting the icing on the cake late in the game, 89th minute. Sebastian Driussi drew one back in the 61st, but not enough as Sporting Kansas City were just the more clinical team tonight. And while Austin had a lot of the ball, Sporting Kansas City did what they needed to do to get the win here tonight. Dangerous on the counter, dangerous on set pieces, clinical in front of goal. And Jacob Peterson, we've got a fourth straight win here on this home field for Sporting Kansas City. What impressed you most about this one?
This is a scary team. If you're anybody else in the Western Conference and you see the way that Sporting are playing, especially at home, you got to watch out. And this team is something that hasn't been talked about very often. Is Sporting started this season with 10 road games, which
most in MLS.
They have such a favorable schedule going into these summer months. Yes, the Leagues Cup is going to break that up a little bit, and then you have that final push. But if Sporting can play like this at home, where we've seen it in a bunch of different ways, right? It hasn't always been completely dominant, chance after chance after chance. Sometimes it's been more pragmatic. Here, allowing Austin to have the ball. Against FC Dallas, a grind-out type of a win. Against the Portland Timbers, where you fall behind, you then get yourself back into it, score 4 goals. This team is finding its way. And, too, we talked about how your 2 starting center backs are out in this game. And Robbie Volater, Robert Castellanos stepped up, especially Castellanos getting the goal. Should have gotten an assist on Alan Polito's first goal. Every single set piece into the box, Castellanos was there. He was a menace defensively, frustrating Chelsea Zardes, this Austin team. It's a great performance overall for Sporting, and Alan Polito, if he's playing like this, the rest of the league better watch out.
And even sweeter, because for the first time this season, Sporting Kansas City have moved above the playoff line, and they are in 8th place, which is one of the 2 play-in spots each conference with a new expanded playoff format. 9 teams will make the playoffs, but the 8th and 9th seed will have to battle it out to see who moves on. And Sporting Kansas City now sitting in 8th place with 20 points on the season and improving game by game that goal differential, scoring goals, earning points, and getting wins at home, which is what you need to do, Jacob. We always talk about it in this league. Win your home games, and you're going to put yourself in a really good spot. And Sporting Kansas City continuing to do that and find themselves in a spot they have just been hoping to see themselves in, and that is within the playoff picture as it stands right now. Still a lot of season left. Things can turn just with a few results. But how good as a player does it feel to see the standings and know that you're in the race? Even if it's just early in the season.
Yeah, for me, it's just about accumulating points. It's just about accumulating points. And yes, if you continue to do that throughout the season, you're going to be in the playoff picture. You're going to keep moving yourself up. Some guys like to look at that in the facility. The standings are posted on almost every TV around the facility. So when Sporting were bottom of the table, every single time the players walked into the training facility, they saw that. And it's motivation. And yes, they're climbing the table right now, but it's just about picking up points. And it's about putting in good performances, consistent performances that when the times get tough towards the end of the season where games mean more, the pressure's there, you have this reservoir where you can go back to and say, hey, remember that game where we got a 0-0 result on the road in Philly, or a tie on the road in LAFC, or when we came from behind when Portland went up on us and we were able to fight back and then win that game going away. There's all these little moments that good teams, they win in different ways. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we've talked about before, Allie, but it's so important, and you could feel the vibes in the group. The players are more confident. The celebrations are all there. It's that camaraderie. It's that team type of mindset Peter Vermees preaches all the time. But these performances are so important later on in the season. And, yes, you want to be in that playoff spot and see that table. But, quite frankly, it doesn't really matter at this point. It's just about picking up points. And Sporting have been on a great run of form. With the exception of Cincinnati, Sporting Kansas City are the hottest team in MLS.
Well, the only way that they've been winning here at home has been dominant. That has been the consistent factor in all 4 of these home wins for Sporting in their last 4 home games. A 4-1 victory over Austin FC tonight. And I just have to shout out, so cool to see there during the sway, Robert Castellanos and Alan Polito with their arms around each other. They had a great embrace after the match. We had a chance to talk with Robert Castellanos earlier in the season, his first year with Sporting Kansas City. And one player he said he looks up to so much is Alan Polito. His dad was a fan of him at Chivas Guadalajara, and Castellanos said that he just respects and admires how Polito carries himself as a pro, the way that he engages and interacts with every single person at the training facility, and how he goes about his business, and has really developed a good relationship with him as 2 of the Spanish speakers on the team. So for them to be able to combine tonight,
An oil change, home of the 15-minute oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Here's Dave Denholm.
One of those nights you want to turn the page as quickly as you can, and the good news is LAFC will be back at it on Wednesday. Maybe mixed news is they'll be playing the same team, the Houston Dynamo, that just beat them in Houston here tonight. 4-0 the final. Yeah, you read that right. 4-0. Let's go to the highlights, and it started off early and often for Houston in the 11th minute. A man who had a really good game before being subbed out due to cramping was Nelson Quinones. Taken down by Carrasquilla on a second bounce. Here comes Coco Carrasquilla. Outside of the foot to the near side. Quinones settles. Edge of the 18. Waiting for the overlapping run of Bossi. Takes the inside space and scores. Quinones rifles one in. From 15, it's 1-0 Houston. Maybe a little bit of a deflection on that shot that made it very tough for John McCarthy, in fairness. Now, LAFC trying to get back into it. Denis Bouanga here in the 20th minute with an attempt. Inside the 18, back outside to Cheeky. Now to Vela. Vela in the area now. Bouanga. Denis puts it back on his right foot, trying to cut around the defender. Denis still with the football. Shot blocked at the 6 and cleared away to the top of the area. So a good effort there, but it was blocked defensively. Houston did a lot of that, getting the players back. Ibrahim Aliou had a good chance for the Dynamo in the 22nd minutes, who then plays it off to Ache, who can run. Herrera down the line in this left wing. Quinones is onside. Into the corner here. Quinones waiting for some help in the middle. Quinones cutting it around the defensive Maldonado. The shot at a wicked angle, and it goes all the way through the 18 and actually out of play for a throw-in, as it was between two minds there for Quinones. It actually was a very interesting effort there. Speaking of interesting efforts, how about the Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel? Thrill of the match for LAFC. It was in the 28th minute. Stipe Biuk made a good run. Nobody making any runs, though, for LAFC yet in the area. They're still just playing it around the wing. Maldonado to Sifu in traffic. Good run here by Stipe. Good ball, Sifu. Stipe's shot back post and wide. Now that's better from LAFC, but Biuk did not put it on frame. 28th minute. 1-0 Houston and a goal kick. Stipe had a good chance there. And I was wrong about that. He did put it on frame. The referee called a goal kick, but Steve Clark actually made a great save on that shot. The referee just missed it. A good attempt by Amina Bossi in the 38th minute for Houston. Michael, 15-yard diagonal pass. Good turn by Bossi. Racing towards the 18, 30 yards from goal. Short little ball, Herrera. Back heel, back to Bossi. Middle of the park, settles. Right-footed shot, just wide. Amina Bossi got all of that with the right foot and just missed. After that, though, a couple attempts late in the first half for LAFC. They started pouring it on. If they could have broken through there, several corner kicks, just couldn't. Maybe it would have been a whole different game. Carlos Vela setting up Sifu in the 45th minute. Palacios in the offensive zone. Back to Duenas, 50 yards from goal. Short ball in the middle to Vela. Turn. Good ball to the center to Sifu. Settles. Shot blocked and out of play by Steris for a corner. Oh, boy, LAFC have picked it up here in the last few minutes of this first half. They really did end the first half strong. If they score, you don't know how things change, right? It's 1-1. Houston's now, kind of holding their heads down. LAFC are more motivated after having time, but it just could not break through. And that might have been the difference, because then early in the second half, the Dynamo were feeling good, and they earned a penalty that Amina Bossi put in. Amina Bossi, can he go 5 for 5, looking for his 7th goal of the season, and more importantly, looking to make it 2-0. Here he comes. Bossi, the shot and goal. Had McCarthy diving the wrong way. Bossi put it in to his left, and it's 2-0 Houston Dynamo early in the second half. Ryan Hollingshead gave up the PK, had a bit of a tough time. 69th minute, Hollingshead with a bit of a giveaway just outside of the area. It's a former LAFC forward, Corey Baird, who was on the spot. To Hollingshead. Hollingshead nearly loses it. He does lose the football. Hollingshead loses it. Coming into the area now, Baird. Goal! Houston Dynamo, it's 3-0. Corey Baird swiped it off of Hollingshead and made LAFC pay. It's 3-0 in the 69th minute. Didn't get any better. Coco Carrasquilla on a breakaway for the Houston Dynamo on a counterattack. Wow, what a shot in the 82nd. Leads the run of Ulfarsson. Ulfarsson is racing forward. Here comes the Dynamo. Oh, forcing in the 18, cutting it across. Carrasquilla, the shot off the post and wide. McCarthy was scrambling and would not have gotten there as the goal was open, and Carrasquilla misses. Yeah, I think Carrasquilla took it on the first touch. He didn't realize how much time he had maybe to settle that one. A bit of a break there, but it wouldn't matter. Franco Escobar, wow, what a goal in the 89th minute for Houston to really seal this thing. Escobar settles, a shot, and goal! Long ball to Escobar just outside of the 18. Settled on one touch and blasted it with the right foot. And John McCarthy couldn't keep it out. It's 4-0. And I think maybe Eric Duenas cutting across there to try to close down Escobar might have got a piece of that one as well. I don't know for sure if that threw off McCarthy, but it typical of the night there for LAFC. An inch or two either way, and the Dynamo were inch perfect, and LAFC were not. And they pay the price and then some. 4-0 the final. Houston wins this one. Coming up, we'll bring you the Game Changer, powered by Valvoline Instant Oil Change, on the home of the Black and Gold. This is the Black and Gold postgame show on ESPN LA.
Becoming America's best-selling brand means you never settle for anything less. Like the Ford F-150. With its premium-grade muscle and finely tuned intelligence, it's a beast with brains. The Ford Bronco Sport, with unquestioned toughness and capability, it's built to take on the mountains. And Ford's complete lineup of all-wheel drive SUVs gives you the power, style, and space you need for life on the go. Contact your local Ford store for exclusive offers on Ford's full lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Sales call based on calendar year sales.
Just a sec. Listen, it's hard to balance work, family, and school. But it's easier when your university is built for students with a lot on their plate. Since 1976, University of Phoenix has helped over 1 million working adults earn their degree. Come see what they can do for you. Find out more at phoenix.edu. University of Phoenix. We rise for you. Okay, what's going on?
What does it take to make the world's most awarded tequila? 1800 Tequila knows it takes dedication down to every drop. It's more than just harvesting the finest blue agave. It's using it in a 200-year-old recipe recognized by tequila experts as the best in its class. So when you choose 1800 Tequila, you choose taste above all. 1800, the best taste in tequila. 1800 Tequila, Proximo, Jersey City, New Jersey. 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
Sweet, savory, refreshing. Those are just a few words to describe the new Baskin-Robbins Mango Nata. Our tribute to this traditional Mexican beverage combines the bright, tropical flavor of mango, the tangy kick of chamoy, and the spice of Tajín Clásico seasoning, leaving taste buds with an unforgettably unique experience. It's the perfect way to sip in the new season. Try a Mango Nata today at Baskin-Robbins. Sweet, savory, score.
If your colors are black and gold, then you know the heart of LA. And if you're one of 4 million that call LA home, then you're the heart that keeps LAFC going strong. As the team physicians of LAFC, Kaiser Permanente knows that a strong team needs a stronger community. And we're dedicated to helping keep LAFC, their fans, and LA at their absolute best. Because shoulder to shoulder we stand, and together we thrive. Kaiser Permanente.
200% more power, 300% longer battery life, and 100% faster charging. That's what pros can expect from Flex Power Tools. Featuring stacked lithium battery technology, this game-changing power keeps pros on the job and off the sidelines, so they can outwork, outperform, and outlast the competition. And it's backed by the Flex lifetime warranty for all tools, batteries, and chargers. Stay in the game with Flex Power Tools, a proud sponsor of LAFC. Visit flexpowertools.com to check out the full lineup of 24-volt tools.
What does a bank like BMO know about soccer? Well, we've been a fan for 2 decades. Helped over 250,000 kids take the pitch. And invested $25 million in support of youth athletes. But we're not just growing the game, we're growing the good. We're a bank that helps millions of customers make real financial progress. And that's something we can all cheer for. BMO, official bank of LAFC. BMO Harris Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
You're listening to the Black and Gold postgame show, recapping everything that went down tonight. This is the Black and Gold post-game show.
The Black and Gold post-game show presented by Heineken. The Black and Gold post-game show is presented by Heineken. Heineken, official partner of Los Angeles Football Club.
This is LAFC's head coach, Steve Cherundolo. This is the Black and Gold post-game show.
LAFC Houston Dynamo is a final. Once again. Back to Dave Denholm.
Black and Gold post-game show on ESPN LA presented by Heineken. Dave Denholm with you after Houston Dynamo defend their home turf and then some, beating LAFC tonight 4-0 the final. It's time for the Valvoline Instant Oil Change game changer, and it was really at the end of the first half. LAFC were trying to get the tying goal. It was 1-0 at the time. The Black and Gold were pouring it on to end the half. Carlos Vela setting up Jose Cifuentes in the 45th. Palacios in the offensive zone. Back to Duenas, 50 yards from goal. Short ball in the middle to Vela. Turned. Good ball into the center to Sifu. Settles. Shot blocked and out of play by Steris for a corner. Oh, boy, LAFC have picked it up here in the last few minutes of this first half. And it was one of those plays where Steris it was like bang, bang play where Sifu just couldn't even get the shot away as Steris came across diving in. And it was kind of like that all night. And we call that the game changer because if LAFC had tied it up, you don't know what's going to happen in the second 45 minutes. What went on to happen is Houston added 3 more and win 4-0. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute oil change. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and to score game-winning coupons off your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Still to come, we'll take a look ahead to LAFC's next match coming up on Wednesday. But first, I want to give you the stats of this one. Okay, we will be talking more about that second matchup with Houston coming up later on in this postgame. But
are on sale now. Spend your summer on the lakefront at Soldier Field and don't miss out on the heart-pumping action of Chicago Fire FC home matches. Cheer on your favorite team against some of the most exciting opponents and join in on theme night. Get your tickets now and secure your spot at Soldier Field. Visit ChicagoFireFC.com/tickets to purchase today.
This is the Big 89 WLS-AM, your new radio home for the Chicago Fire Football Club.
Next home at Dason Robinson post-match Chicago Fire show, which is presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick GMC dealers. Let's get to the final match stats here, which are presented by Wintrust. And, well, it was a second half that we kind of talked about.
Get out of it. And Coach Vrabel immediately was like, hey, man, I'm past recruiting. We want guys that want to be here. So I think it's going to more or less be Hopkins convincing the Titans that he wants to be there. And I will say this, there has to be some type of deal, not deal, but parameters of money in place, or else he wouldn't waste his time flying into Nashville. And the Titans have just around $8 million in cap space, but there's some things that they could do to finagle it, do some of those salary cap gymnastics and get Hopkins a solid deal. And I think it could fetch 10 to 12 million, in my opinion. I think that's something that would be fair to fetch. You look at
I know it because I'm around them quite a bit, obviously. I know that it's been very frustrating for him because he's a guy that wants to play, wants to be on the field. It's his passion. It's what he loves to do. And he's there's players that sometimes they want to try to get out of everything, right? They want to I want to train. I want to do it. Like that's not him. He's never been that way from day one. And when he was injured, obviously very serious surgeries that he had, but he put his head down and he worked extremely hard. And, I think he's seeing the fruits of that labor that, he put in. And I think you're also starting to see again, the player that we originally had in the beginning. And I always knew it was.
Try to replace some names here, maybe this season or the next.
Minimum of 6 minutes of stoppage time, Shane, and minimum of 6 here from PayPal Park at San Jose to culminate half number 1. And got to credit what Marlon LeBlanc is doing with Union 2 and Tommy Wilson and all the academy staff and coaches to try to continue this development here for a lot of the Union youngsters to eventually make their dream a reality and wear the first team badge. Shane, and you're part of that, of course, with coaching a lot of young men. I'm sure you've seen on both the men and the women's side about a lot of those young kids dreaming about playing for the first team one day.
I think that's everybody's dream, and then you see where you take it and you see how disciplined you are from there, and you hope for the best, really.
Jesus Bueno playing this forward there, a darting ball up ahead, a slide tackle there by Beast that just cleared a Trauco. Carrizo has it towards the center circle, their own defensive side here in San Jose. 47th minute. It's a 1-1 game, first half stoppage time. Bobasi had the first tally, the 8th minute from Cade Cal. Answered in the 17th minute off of a corner. Kai Wagner found Damian Lowe, who was out. McGlynn is the first change in this one as Lowe suffered a non-contact hamstring injury. Hopefully he is okay. off of the chest of Nate Harriel in front of Jim Kern, but coughed it right back up to Beeson, who will spot Jamiro Montero in the attacking half. Over to Kate Cal to the upper end of Andre Blake at first half stoppage time in a 1-1 game. Back to Montero towards the sideline, met by Nate Harriel, the slide tackle. Miro is down yet again. Will be a throw for San Jose in the dark hits here at home. Trauco, the Peruvian international, will have the restart. He gets it back from Espinoza. Union have been doing a nice job derailing Espinoza time and space on the right-hand wing. Oftentimes, Shane, and I'm seeing him drift inside to get on the ball. I know they'll do that a lot in their 4-3-3. Rodriguez in front of his own 18 goes back to Daniel. A little bit of pressure from Gazdag, who's 5 yards around him, but Daniel wisely spots Tanner Beeson. Beeson with his left goes off of Julian Carranza with his strong work rate out of play. And will be a throw here for San Jose at home.
And the Union doing a really good job of using those pressing cues, especially when the ball goes back, of really stepping their lines up and looking to press San Jose. And they've caused some turnovers for San Jose. Can they continue that pressure and look to cause a turnover that will lead to a chance for them as well?
4th straight start for Beeson, by the way. Played at Stanford from 2016 to 19, a 2-time All-American, 2-time Mac Herman Trophy semifinalist as well. A 1-1 game. Started the 49th minute. Dave O'Shane and Williams on the call here at first half stoppage time. Ua just past the halfway line. Turns right around Jackson Ewell. Spot Carranza deep in possession at midfield. Right where that midfield circle is. Where that dot kickoff goes off. Nate Harriel plays it forward. Gazdag leads it off for Jesus Bueno. 1v1 plays it back unselfishly. And Carranza goes high above the crossbar. Bueno with the opportunity, played it back across the green to Carranza, who is looking for his 3rd goal in the last 2 games, but whistled it high, and Julian would want that one back. That should have been the Union's go-ahead goal.
Nathan Harriel, good entry ball into Gazdag, who lays it off one touch. Bueno does a good job to roll it back to the exact guy that you would want taking that shot, and he is human.
Hit an open goal.
He's human, and he'll want that one back.
I love the unselfishness by Jesus Bueno, and Carranza had an open goal because the goalkeeper, Daniel, was to the left meeting 1v1 with Jesus Bueno, who wisely crossed it about 7 yards behind him on a diagonal for Carranza, who took a 3-step approach and banged it high into the crowd. Wow, we're still 1-1. Here at first half stoppage time, Trauco plays the ball forward, looking for Montero, shoved there by Elliott, will concede the corner. It should be another one here for San Jose before the first half whistle sounds, and that will do it. There's the whistle from Sekhafi. So Carranza nearly made it 2-1, not to be Shannon, but the Union will go into the locker room here at San Jose in a 1-1 stalemate at the break.
Looks like we're going into halftime. Nope.
Looks like it's just offside. Well, we should have maybe one more kick left. All right, we'll play on. Nonetheless, it is 1-1. Getting full transparency, we're calling this game off the monitor here, not in San Jose. So ball played alive here for Glesnes off of the back of his head over to Andre Blake. We'll recollect here. Should have about 45 seconds left, and then the halftime whistle.
Would have been a good end to the half if Carranza could have finished there. Unfortunately, just has one that skips off the turf and it just skies it.
Elliott's net by Gruezo right in front of Daniel Gazdag. Jackson Ewell well away for the Andre Blake goal, but has it the attacking end for San Jose at a 1-1 game. Probably have about 30 seconds left before officially halftime here at PayPal Park. Ball played over the top, looking for Trauco into the flanks to the upper end of Andre Blake, 25 yards away from the Blake goal for the Union. Trauco linking up there with Jackson Ewell, plays it forward to Kate Cal, who tripped at the top of the 18. No call from Sekhafi. And they'll recollect with Andre Blake towards the end line.
Looks like he just had a slip there.
Yeah, just fell on his own.
Got to wear the studs, buddy.
I would say, look like me on the ice skating rink there. Shannon might need some lessons from you. And Andre Blake just playing with the ball at his feet here. Wait, you could hear Jim Curtin, right? I think it was Jim in our microphone saying, blow the whistle, and there it is. Yeah, I don't know why there was 6 minutes of stoppage, but officially, Shannon, there's the whistle. So we do go to halftime and it's 1-1. Carranza nearly made it 2-1, but not to be.
Yeah, and what started off as a tough Union start ended up being a pretty decent half for them, and hopefully they can continue that. We see Carranza being able to start to spark some chances for himself and also for others. So look for more of that. Look for more of that high press in the second half, and hopefully the Union can get the job done and get another goal here.
All right, so 1-1 is the score at the break. Ebobisi had the first goal for San Jose in the 8th minute. Damian Lowe with the equalizer in the 17th minute. On the other side, our halftime show commences. 1-1 the Union at San Jose. Back for more in just a moment. You're listening to Philadelphia Union Soccer on 97.5 The Fanatic.
You're listening to the Union Radio Network.
If you want most of your breakfast stolen every morning, parenting is for you. If you want your kids to steal a delicious breakfast every morning, Thomas's English muffins are for you. You might not be able to have your breakfast and eat it too, but they'll enjoy it. Thomas's.
Wake up to what's possible.
Union win, you win. Visit Harrah's Philadelphia the day after a Philadelphia Union victory and get 2-for-1 fresh baked pizzas. Then keep the winning going with a 2x reward credit multiplier while playing your favorite slots or table games. That's 2-for-1 pizzas and 2x comp dollar earning. Union win, you win. Only at Harrah's Philadelphia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 and older to gamble.
The Swag is a no-cost soccer training program for young athletes in Philadelphia's under-resourced communities. With numerous locations across the Philadelphia area and multiple programs to suit all skill levels, The Swag is committed to building a level playing field where anyone can compete. If interested in learning more about the program or to make a donation, visit the-swag.org. The Swag is fully funded by donations, so please consider making a contribution today. The Swag is proud to partner with the Philadelphia Union in our effort to create opportunities for everyone in soccer.
Whether it's a weekend staycation, intimate getaway, or you just want to spoil yourself and a loved one, discover Sofitel Philadelphia at Rittenhouse Square, a luxury resort with a perfect blend of French elegance and American style, ideally located in the city of brotherly love. Each Sofitel draws inspiration from local culture and tradition while celebrating innovation and the French art de vivre to offer a one-of-a-kind luxurious hotel experience. From design details to exhibitions and events, discover what makes our hotels so unique. Plan your Philadelphia getaway now, and for the lowest rate anywhere, book directly with Sofitel at SofitelPhiladelphia.com.
How do we create hope for a cleaner planet? Together. We see you conscious carpooling and weekend beach cleaning. All who've long gone green and all taking their first steps. We see you doing your part for the planet every day. And Green Mountain Energy is here to power everything you do with 100% renewable wind and solar energy. So join us for the love of the planet and for the hope inspired by everything on it. Green Mountain Energy. Light the future. PUCT 10009.
Need a little peace and quiet? Revitalize your spirit as you explore our winding country roads and make your way to our charming shops and cozy eateries. Here, everyone from the solo adventurer to lively families can experience rejuvenation and our timelessness. Lancaster County, Pennsylvania is an affordable haven for your next getaway. Visit discoverlancaster.com for more of what Lancaster County has to offer.
Here's what a morning with Thomas's swirl bread sounds like. And here's one without it. They sound the same, but we all ate something we loved in the first one. It's our preferred loud morning, Thomas's.
Wake up to what's possible.
You're listening to Union Soccer on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Oh, with a chance on a breakaway pass, Larea has it on his left with the shot and scores! There's two for Michael Lua!
Now, it's time for tonight's halftime show.
Halftime from PayPal Park in San Jose, California. We are all square at one apiece between the Union at the San Jose Earthquakes. Dave Little and Sheenan Williams with you. I thought it was a slow start to the game for the Union tonight, especially after Ebobisi had that first tally. But what changed after the first 20 minutes for the Union? Obviously getting the equalizer for Damian Lowe certainly helped.
The set piece goal, I think that really changed the tone of the game and got the Union back in it after they were under pressure really to begin the first 15 or so minutes, especially giving up the early goal. They then changed to back into the back four, which we haven't seen in a couple of weeks. Jack McGlynn coming in and coming back from the U20 World Cup. So interesting tactics, especially as you work on something all week and then mid-game have to switch it. I think that kind of throws off both teams, but it looks like it's favored the Union here in the first half.
Yeah, San Jose had the bulk of the possession, 57-43 through one half of play. Let's waste no time, Shane. Let's get right to the highlights. Beginning in the 8th minute, the game changed right off the bat at Bobas. He played a long ball over the top to Cade Cal, who found the man who started the play at Bobas for the game's first goal. Big ball over the top, Cade Cal. He's onside, marching towards the penalty area. Here's an opportunity for Cal. Turns it at 360 to the upper right of Andre Blake. Harriel was there. Low shot is banged home from Bobasi at the top of the area and in. And it's an early San Jose goal. 1-0 they lead in the 8th minute. Cal to Bobasi as they strike first at home.
San Jose playing out of the back, played a direct ball into Bobase, who does a good job to hold it up. Plays Kyle down the sides of the center backs, and then Bobasi actually comes back into the play as he receives the ball at the top of the box and just side foots it into the corner of the net, which it's a great finish on his part and gets San Jose really rolling to start this game.
And now Bobasi, Shane, in 2 goals in the last 3 games. He also scored a couple games ago at Seattle in that 1-0 win. But that was met 9 minutes later. Kai Wagner with a corner and a late change. Matt Real didn't start the game like we were expecting. It was Damian Lowe who had the header to make it 1-1. Wagner will take it. It's the first corner for either team. 17th minute. It's a 2-step approach from Kai. Outswinging ball. It's a header, and it's banged home. The Union get it off of the header, and it's Damian Lowe with the equalizer. It's 1-1 in the 17th minute.
And like you mentioned, we had our crystal ball out. We mentioned that the Union might be able to score on a set piece, and it's a great way to get yourself back in the game, especially on the road. And Damian Lowe does a good job before he has to, unfortunately, exit from the game of just attacking a set piece and wanting to be dangerous and wanting to get something on goal there.
Yeah, just like stealing a page from San Jose's book, because they last had an open goal from Thompson against L.A. a couple of games ago. Recently, they've been getting a lot of goal from set pieces. And they got one from open play from Bobasi. Union get one off of a set piece thanks to Lowe on that header. Lowe came out, by the way, and McGlynn came in. It was a hamstring injury for Damian Lowe. In first half stoppage time, the Union should have made it 2-1. Jesus Bueno, 1v1 with the goalkeeper, unselfishly played it back to Carranza, who went high. Nate Harriel plays it forward. Gazdag leads it off for Jesus Bueno. 1v1, plays it back unselfishly, and Carranza goes high above the crossbar. Bueno with the opportunity, played it back across the green to Carranza, who is looking for his 3rd goal in the last 2 games, but whistled it high, and Julian would want that one back. That should have been the Union's go-ahead goal.
Great combination on top of the box. Ball comes in from Harriel into Gazdag, who one-touched it into the path of Bueno, who unselfishly lays it for Carranza, who's exactly who the Union want, taking that shot, and it looks like it maybe takes a bobble, and he skies it. But good warning shot, good aggressiveness by the Union, getting players forward, looking to get the easy chances. They make the right play. Unfortunately, they just don't get the result from it.
All right, we'll step aside. We'll have the first half numbers and some more scores from around Week 18 when we return to our halftime report. It's 1-1 in San Jose. You're listening to Philadelphia Union Soccer on 97.5 The Fanatic.
You're listening to the Union Radio Network.
The SEPTA Transit Police Department is hiring experienced officers and entry-level new recruits. Apply today to join the department that keeps one of the largest transit systems in the country safe and comfortable for all who ride. There is no residency requirement, and salaries start at $56,000. Benefits include tuition reimbursement, the opportunity to rotate through specialized units, and a dynamic and supportive working environment. Build your career in law enforcement with SEPTA. Learn more and apply today at jobs.septa.org.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, it's Brian Boucher, and let me tell you about my friend Mario and his team at Great Railing. When your deck or railing project is in crunch time, there's only one place to go. In one trip to Great Railing, you'll find everything for the whole project from start to finish in stock. They have a huge selection of highest quality products at a fraction of the cost. I know firsthand the money you will save on your project. For quality products and everyday great pricing, do what I I did and call Mario at Great Railing. Call 856-875-0050 or log on to greatrailing.com.
Don't let bone, muscle, or joint pain sideline you from your favorite activities. Premier Orthopedics physicians and therapists treat all injuries with the expertise and resources to help get you back to feeling your best. And with more than 50 locations throughout the region, including 2 orthopedic urgent care centers, Premier Orthopedics provides exceptional care when and where you need it. Get back in the game. Call Premier Orthopedics today at 1-855-ORTHO-24 or visit premierortho.com. Premier Orthopedics is the official orthopedics and physical therapy partner of the Philadelphia Union. You're listening to the Union Radio Network.
Halftime from PayPal Park at San Jose. It's a 1-1 game between the Union at San Jose Earthquakes. Now time for the first half numbers. The Union outshot San Jose by 4, 7-3. They had 2 shots on target, just 1 for the Earthquakes, and obviously they scored on that thanks to Ibobasi. They outpossessed the Union, as mentioned in the previous segment, 57 of 43%. 2 corners for the Union, none from San Jose.
Cincinnati fans and people that watch the game and watch the team closely, it's like, well, we've been pulling those games out. That's just kind of what we do, is win 1-goal games this year. But unfortunate foul at the end leading to the penalty, and we lose 2 points. But I think in the end, again, as we kind of get a little bit of distance between now and this game, we'll realize it's a pretty good point.
Yeah, 15th time I mentioned earlier. 15th time in 17 matches that FC Cincinnati have scored first, and they've only dropped those points 3 times now. But they didn't drop them all together. They just dropped 2 points, right? 3 draws when scoring the first goal, 12 wins this season. And we were talking about it a little bit off the air, but this team looked tired in the first half, and they had a battle to get through 90 minutes tonight.
Yeah, they did. And that, again, speaks to this being a positive result, you know?
Yep.
The guys, I said after about 30 minutes, you're looking at them, they're sort of huffing and puffing, and the body language is looking a bit tired, and sometimes defensively the reactions were a bit late, and I think that's down to fatigue because this team's defended so well, and even tonight they defended well. I said the game's going to be won and lost by who defends the box well, and I think that they did really well. So many times Gerson Mosquera winning the ball in the air and making blocks and tackles, and but, you know, sometimes the game just kind of figures you out a little bit, and it's just a direct ball that leads to the penalty. But overall, lots of positives from the group, and we knew Lucho Acosta would come in and make a difference, and he did just that tonight.
Well, we'll talk about that goal and give you our full match recap on the other side of the break. It's already Sunday morning, past midnight in the Queen City, as we continue our post-match coverage next on ESPN 1530.
You think buckling up is a personal choice? That it doesn't hurt anyone else? You would be wrong. Your choice could shatter the lives of your family, friends, and everyone you know. That's why we enforce seatbelt laws, to save lives. Think about that every time you drive. Buckling up isn't just a good idea, it's a choice between surviving a crash or not. Make sure you and everyone in the vehicle buckles up every time. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're never offside at Wings and Rings. With elevated food and VIP service, we are dedicated to being the place all fans can enjoy the match. Whether it's enjoying a bit of banter, catching up with old friends, finding new favorites, or watching your team bring home the win, we invite all FC Cincinnati fans to kick back and enjoy life with us. Stop into any of the 12 Cincinnati area Wings and Rings locations or place your order online at wingsandrings.com.
There are lots of ways to make Skyline part of your game plan. You can pregame with friends in 5 ways at your favorite Skyline, or carry out conies to crush during the game. And Skyline is the only place for post-game Cholitos and chili cheese fries. Football, basketball, baseball, or soccer. High school, college, or pro. Doesn't matter. Game time is always a good time for Skyline. So get your game face on and get your Skyline game plan together. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Did you know that 90% of adults support organ, eye, and tissue donation, but only 60% are signed up as donors? There are nearly 110,000 people waiting for life-saving organ transplants in the United States and over 500 people in our community. Now, that number grows every day. Educate yourself on the powerful truths about donation and take a proactive role in your health and the health of your community. Regardless of age or medical history, anyone can be a potential donor. Register your decision to donate at lifepassiton.org.
Tom Glenn and Jeff Lorenowitz back with you as FC Cincinnati and the Vancouver Whitecaps. A 1-1 draw tonight. The Orange and Blue now 12-1-4 on the season. The Whitecaps 5-5-7. Now with 22 points in the Western Conference. They began the night at 6th place. Of course, with the late match, this is the final match of the night. We'll give you the full MLS scoreboard here before we go off the air. FC Cincinnati, their 4th draw. All 4 draws have been on the road this season. How did we get there? Well, we had a scoreless first half yet again for the Orange and Blue, and then it was the second half substitution. Luciano Acosta came on and scored a goal that felt impossible. Acosta with a long ball into the 18. Tries to get
he's done it. He's
off
done
the
it.
line, and he does. Lucho Acosta off the bench gives the Orange and Blue a 1-0 advantage. Lucho comes into the game. He pokes it up and over Yohei Takaoka, and you could hear both our reactions in the moment. It felt like it wasn't there, and he just went for that far corner and snuck it in.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Takaoka still can't believe that it found its way over his head, but when you watch the replay and you look at the angle and you think about it being on his left foot and how difficult, I mean, there's only really one place the ball can go, and he put it exactly there. It was a great little finish and a little moment of hope at the end of the game.
Absolutely. It lasted about 4.5 minutes because then there was a foul by Matt Miazga inside of the penalty area, and it resulted in a penalty. Didn't have to go to review. It was very clearly a foul. Matt knew it. Everybody seemed to know it. Ryan Gauld stepped to the spot. Even the match at 1-1, it was a very professional penalty kick. And even if Roman dives the other way, he would have had a very hard time getting to the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. There was no question. He was able to wrap his left foot around it and put it in the corner. I think that it was good as well after that goal that Cincinnati, didn't really bend any further, found themselves down the other end of the field, almost creating opportunities. But really, it's a game that should end in a draw, and I think both teams deserve 1 point. No team really deserved to steal 3 points, I think, in that one.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier. It feels a little greedy that you wanted 3 points tonight because of the run of form from FC Cincinnati, but we talked about it at the beginning of the year. Win at home, which that's all that FC Cincinnati has done. Draw on the road, and you're fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the formula, right? Keep getting results on the road, one way or another. If you're getting 3 or you're getting 1 from the road games and you continue the form at home, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, and they defended. They were as good on the ball or as
he wasn't a passenger, he wasn't a DP.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So, you've got an oil change coming up.
Be that way because he's active in and around the box.
Yes.
It feels like he could have some multi-game performances here for the Vancouver Whitecaps. He talked about the road struggles. We'll have to figure it out pretty quick because they go on the road for the next 3 important games. You mentioned Colorado Rapids, LAFC, and then Sporting Kansas City. So 3 big games on the road for the Vancouver Whitecaps coming up here.
Yes, 3 big games. And Colorado being the winningness, if there is such a word as that, winningness. I mean, the Blake Price fired a few words at me in midweek, and I'm telling you, I'm still trying to find the words in the dictionary, what he said to me. But that's a winnable game. Yeah. I would say down in Colorado, with the greatest respect to Colorado, they're dangerous at home as well. But the next two, I mean, LAFC, well, the fixture looks after itself because you know that the crowd are packed in there and they're noisy. They get right behind them. The last one, Sporting Kansas City, they've won again today at home. So you know that that's a difficult fixture. So that's why, again, I go back to it being so important today that we got something just to keep that momentum going. And now we've got a wee break as well, Asa, so the lads can sort of switch off a little bit, recharge the batteries, and then by the time that Colorado games comes around, we should be hopefully fully fit and hungry and ready to go again.
22 points from 17 games as we hit the midway mark of the MLS season for the Vancouver Whitecaps. We will hear from Paul Dolan in a little bit. He'll be joining us in the booth. Right now, let's get a traffic update from the AM 730 Traffic Center. Here's Ray Luck.
All right, so right now, if you are passing through Delta, still the situation with the power line repairs. Ladner Trunk Road is still shut down between 64th and 66th. Find another way. Aside from that, pretty good commute. North Shore volume, none of that. Highway 1 east and west through the Fraser Valley, looking great. And tomorrow, reminder, the RBC Run for the Cure is happening in Vancouver. Canby is shutting down between King Ed and 41st, 6 a.m. till noon. Back to you.
Thanks so much. All right, we will be joined by Paul Dolan shortly. We'll also hear from the coach of the Vancouver Whitecaps, Vanni Sartini. You're listening to the Whitecaps FC post-match show on AM 730.
This is AM 730, CKGO Vancouver. Go Whitecaps, a Course Entertainment Company.
We all know everything is more expensive right now, but we want a high quality of life to renovate or educate our kids.
And it's a great time to have more flexibility. Capital Direct allows you to do that.
Right now, it's more important than ever to plan your cash flows both in and out, and it's nice to know that a Flexi line from Capital Direct can help you do that.
Whether you need $80,000, $180,000, or even $1.8 million.
Call Capital Direct today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
CapitalDirect.ca.
Cold floors and musty odors? Ugh. No thanks. A dry, insulated, usable crawl space? Yes, please.
Locally owned Basement Systems Vancouver is part of the HPCN, an approved contractor for the Clean BC Better Homes program, with available government grants, rebates, and even funding of up to 95% of the cost for insulated, cleaned, and pest-controlled crawl spaces.
For all things basement-y and crawl spaces, too, Basement Systems Vancouver gets rid of the ick, so you don't have to.
Basement Systems Vancouver. Visit bsv.ca.
Indigenous cultures in BC are as diverse as the natural beauty of BC, attracting visitors from around the world. From the Rockies to the Pacific, Indigenous peoples have thrived on the land and cared for it since before memory. Indigenous Tourism BC invites you to deepen your understanding and care for these lands. Let Indigenous hosts guide you on this journey. Our story, your experience. IndigenousBC.com.
Worried about warts, pre-skin cancer, age spots, skin tags, spider veins, or skin lesions? Visit whiterocklaserclinic.com. Guaranteed results with 20 years in business. For a free consultation, call 604-535-8555 on George Street in White Rock.
Thanks to all the car donations made to the Kidney Car Program, the Kidney Foundation of Canada can help numerous people living with kidney disease right here in BC. These donations are instrumental in providing them with programs and invaluable support. When you give your car to the Kidney Car Program, it'll be towed for free and recycled or resold. You'll also receive a tax receipt of at least $700. To continue to improve the quality of life of thousands of patients, the Kidney Car Program needs your car today. Visit kidneycar.ca.
Safety is the foundation for the 100-plus years of success that generations of union ironworkers, men and women, Indigenous people and minorities stand upon. The bridges, buildings, and structures the Ironworkers Local 97 build keep our communities connected and our economy growing. If you value paid training and safety on the job, great pay, and a better future with benefits, apply today. Apprenticeships available too. Do more than just a job. Invest in your future. Join local97.com.
Wasps! Wasps! Get inside now!
Wasps or other pests trapping you indoors? Contact Westside Pest Control for fast, safe, and effective removal. Now serving communities from Horseshoe Bay to Chilliwack.
You're listening to the Whitecaps FC Postmatch Show, presented by Play Now Sports on the home of the Caps, AM 730. Once again, here are Asa Raymond and Colin Miller.
Welcome back to the Whitecaps FC Post-Match Show on AM 730. Colin and I, joined by Paul Dolan, just finished doing the call for Apple TV, and it was an interesting game. Had some chances early on, but it was weird. We talked about this, Colin, at halftime. It felt like it was a tight chess match, and then we saw the highlights and were reminded of all these chances. It didn't, you kind of forgot about these chances that happened throughout this whole game.
You know what? It's a good point you make, because I felt the exact same way at halftime when our producer was running down the shot list of 5, 6, 7 incidences where there was a chance of goal. Not great saves or anything else, but the big block from Veselinovic early in the game.
Yes.
The Cordova chance, it goes just wide.
Effort,
There were some opportunities, nothing clear cut. And I think truly that was down to two legless teams. Let's be honest.
Yes.
It's 11 in 35 for the Whitecaps, 10 in 35 plus the travel midweek games. Not to drag down or make excuses for the teams, but it's impossible for there not to be an effect at the end of such a long period of games that are all condensed like that, and big moments midweek. The Canadian Championship is going to take it out of some of the players, and that's why you can't start your very best team. It's also why we felt with 10, 15 minutes to go, when you bring on a Lucho Acosta, when you bring on Julian Gressel and Ryan Gauld, that's when the explosion happened and we saw both goals. So I kind of expected that that's what we'd see, a team and a game that was percolating and then explode in the last 10, and we were lucky enough to get goals in that time frame.
Yeah, definitely changed the games, the subs, didn't they? Acosta's goal, Dolly,
beautiful.
I said to Asa there that you see that in any league in the world, and people are absolutely going crazy about that, the quality of the goal. If you get a chance, listeners, to see the goal at some